Alright you guys, ZFR back here, and in this video we are going to be discussing Cyberpunk 2077, my most anticipated game for the rest of this generation. I've been excited to cover this game on the channel more for a while, and it's finally time to really get into things here. So, with the release of Cyberpunk getting closer and closer, it's releasing April 16th, I believe. So, with the release date getting closer, one complaint that still remains about the game is the lack of a third-person mode. And here's the thing. I can respect what CD Projekt Red is trying to do by not giving this game third person and, trying to go for the more immersive experience, which really, with this type of game, is something different. I think the only other game that really attempted to do all this heavy storytelling and heavy dialogue combined with first-person action and shooting was Fallout. So, with that being said, they are going a different route. They are trying something new, and I think that deserves a little respect. However, at the same time, I think that it is very clear that not only me, but a good portion of the fan base would appreciate a third-person mode in this game. So in this video, we're going to be talking about whether or not the game should have a third-person mode, and if so, how should they go about adding it, even though they've built the game around first-person up until this point. We're going to talk about all this and more. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into this topic, so let's get into it. So I definitely can't deny that I see the benefits of Cyberpunk 2077 being in first person. The game is absolutely beautiful, the world is very immersive. This is CD Projekt Red, so we already know from the Witcher series that they are extremely good at doing what a lot of games fail to do, in implementing lore into their gameplay and their world. So the immersion factor in this game, I would imagine, is going to be pretty high in the end, even if some people don't want to believe it. However, I just don't know about this whole first person only thing, and I'm going to give you my biggest reason why in a second, and it's pretty easy to guess why. It's the reason everybody gives for this. But anyway, so yeah, I see why they're doing the first person thing. Not only is it a really smart choice, but it's a very unique choice. It's something a lot of developers wouldn't have chosen in this situation, and it definitely is more of that really nice CD Projekt Red spin on things that they did so well with the Witcher game. So I definitely trust them if they say this is the way to play the game, but at the same time, just like, this is the same problem I have with Destiny. I can tell it's going to be a very similar problem with this game. Or maybe I'll turn out to be wrong, but I don't think I will be in this regard. The problem with games like this and Destiny are that you make these awesome characters. You pour hours and hours into making these really cool characters. And these aren't games where your character looks the same the entire time, like in Wolfenstein or something like that. These are games where, a big portion of the game is upgrading your character, both power-wise and visually. So, with that being said, it just doesn't make sense for, in a game like this where you put that much work in to change your character and to build a character, a unique character of your own, in a game where you're probably going to have multiple playthroughs just like Fallout, for you not to be able to see your character in third person. I think it's just a bit of a missed opportunity, and it's just another layer of freedom that you could add it to a game that already seems to be offering so much of it. So yeah, with this being said, I also kind of worry about the thought of them rushing to add a third person mode. Because, you know, if they add a third person mode to Cyberpunk, I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be kind of sloppy like it is in Fallout. For those of you who don't play Fallout, the first person mode in Fallout is way better than the third person mode, because the third person mode for the most part is just kind of tacked on. But with Cyberpunk, I would hope they would go a little bit more out, having actual third person mechanics when you switch over and stuff. That would be pretty cool, but how would they go about this, especially when they've already built the game up this far on just first person alone? And don't get me wrong, this is CD Projekt Red. The fans have been asking for the third person mode, so in all honesty, it honestly wouldn't really surprise me if it turns out they've already kind of added a third person mode in, or if the game releases with a third person mode and they kind of reveal it like towards the release date time, or by the time the game does release, it's just a surprise, it's in the main game. That wouldn't surprise me, because CD Projekt Red is known for listening to their fans and, you know, implementing features because their fans asked. After all, they did do it with the movement in The Witcher 3. So with that being said, that wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, I kind of hope that isn't the case, because adding a third person mode to a game that you've already built around first person sounds like a lot of work. I would imagine they would have to go back in, they would have to add a bunch of animations that weren't there. They would have to, you know, they would have to redesign certain environments to be possible to switch back and forth between the two and stuff like that. You know, doorways, all that would have to scale differently and everything. You know, it's just a lot. I would imagine that there's a lot of work that would go into, you know, making sure the game is fit for both first and third person gameplay. And here's the thing, excuse me, I do think that it is possible. I think they can do it, but however, I'm kind of hoping that it's something that comes after release, kind of like the first person mode in Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, add it as something fun for the fans to maybe replay the game with later on in the development or after release. You know, don't try to rush it early on in the game's life cycle and take time away from the actual development. Because from what we are hearing, the game did have a glitch during the upcoming demo that we're supposed to be seeing at PAX. So with that being said, I hope they took their time. I really do. You know, I hope they took their time and really just poured everything they got into making this release great. Because there are, surprisingly enough, there are a lot of people who are actually sleeping on Cyberpunk 2077. I have no idea how. I don't know how there are some people out here who don't believe this game is going to turn out good or as a big deal, but there definitely are. So with that being said, you know, I hope they really make the release as smooth and, you know, just release a really well polished game. So yeah, with that being said, that's all I really have to say about this topic. I do want to see a third person mode in the game, but I think they should add it as within a patch later on, not right away. I want you guys to tell me what you think down below. Maybe you think this is a good idea, maybe you think it's a bad one. Maybe you think it's fine just being in first person. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button or that dislike button if you hated the video for some reason. Helps either way, I believe. So yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching, and if you really enjoyed, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. ZFR out. Thanks again for watching the video, guys. Hope all you enjoyed. As a reward for all you who made it to the end, here's a little sneak peek at some art I did for Cyberpunk 2077. And this is going to be a bigger part of the channel going forward. We're definitely going to be doing some more art here. Also, make sure you're checking back in for more Cyberpunk news. We're going to be doing a lot of it over the next couple weeks and leading up to the release of the game. So with that being said, thanks once again for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed.